Mayors of Chicago, LA, Denver, Houston, New York, asking for $5 billion.
You're asking for $5 billion for the migrants you guys doing for the crime in Chicago.
Mayor Brandon Johnson is in Washington, D.C. today, joining mayors from other large cities asking the Biden administration for more help with the migrant crisis. CBS 2's Sabrina Franza live for us in the control room with the latest on this trip today. Sabrina?
Joe, at the rate Chicago is going, they will not be able to sustain the number of migrants that are coming to the city. That is the message that Mayor Brandon Johnson is bringing with him to Washington today.
Why is she smiling? I mean, why are you smiling? Well, obviously she's presenting a story and she don't want to come off as evil or mean or anything. She wants to, present a story and do it in a manner that she's professional and whatnot. But she's talking about them not having enough money to take care of all of the migrants that's coming to the city.
At this rate, he says the city is spending $40 million a month. So
I'm with you, Fraggle Rock. How about just deporting them? How about using listen, I told y'all already we should have a sliding board that's like a trap door. We should have a trap door, right? Like say like you can have a building. We can have a building that has a trap door with a tunnel that goes back to different countries, right? That goes back to Mexico and back to this place and back to that place. And when they come inside of the building, you just pull the lever and they just go do the trap door and slide back to their country. That's what I propose. You know what I mean? So vote for me and I'll make sure that trap door is up and running the second week of my presidency. That's what they say.
Supporting this crisis on a quick trip to Washington.
It's certainly an urgency in our part.
A big ask. In this letter, the mayors of Chicago, LA, Denver, Houston, New York, asking for $5 billion to, quote, cover the expenditures their cities have already incurred and, quote, to continue serving the number of people arriving. They're also asking for accelerated approval of work authorizations and a more coordinated entry process for migrants.
As a city, as we continue to provide wraparound services and health care and sheltering and resettlement, registering individuals for our public institutions.
Bruh, y'all asked for it though. You was on the front lines asking for it. You was on the front lines fussing at people who were against it. But now it's happening and you want to be helped? What? You're asking for $5 billion for the migrants. What exactly what are you guys doing for the crime in Chicago? What are they doing for that? See, this is another reason why I tried to back away from politics, because sometimes when I see stories like this, it pisses me off, man. It's very upsetting. Like, do you watch this right here and smile? Your taxpayers' money. We're trillions of dollars in debt, but we're asking for $5 billion to take care of individuals that would not be here illegally if it weren't for people like this gentleman who's actually asking for the $5 billion. What am I missing? What exactly am I missing here? And the crime is not even going down in Chicago. It's constantly going up. Why should you be rewarded for failing as much as you are? I don't get that. Bubblehead Nuke, what's going on, brother? What's up, Charlie?
Schools. That this financial dynamic has caused a tremendous burden on our local economy.
As of September 29th, the city of Chicago has spent $116 million welcoming migrants. That does not include Parks Department spending, $270,000, spending by Chicago Public Schools, $1.4 million, and $15.8 million from Cook County Health. The city is projecting there will be a shortage of anywhere from $150 million to $201 million by the end of the year.
I made some financial mistakes, and I would love to get back on track. What part of the government can I go to and ask for a couple million? Could y'all let me know? Because if they give Chicago $5 billion for these immigrants, they need to just go ahead and slide me a check for like $5 million, for the mistakes that I've made. I mean, I got to house people too. The people that I'm housing, not immigrants, they happen to be my family. But at the end of the day, these mistakes and the reason why it looked like this in Chicago right now is because of this mayor. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Please, listen, I don't mind being wrong. Feel free to correct me if you want. But he made these mistakes, so why should they bail him out? How much does it take to deport them? How about that? How much does it take for the government to provide buses to take them back? How about that? What exactly am I missing here?
by the end of this year, we're going to reach well over $300 million alone in just addressing this year's dynamic.
He said we're going to reach $300 million this year alone addressing the migrant dynamic. That sounds like a you problem, bruh. That sounds like a you problem. How about this? How about you get everybody in your cabinet, everybody that work for you, to go ahead and house probably like 10, 15 immigrants in their own homes. Or how about you get a bunch of church buses, right? Get you a bunch of church buses, probably like 5,000 of them. Fill them bad boys up and take them back. Take them right back to where they first crossed over and send their ass right back. All right? Send them right back. That's what I say, dude. That's just me. Maybe I'm alone.
While the mayors met with the White House chief of staff, as well as senators and representatives.
Put this on the president. This is all at the president's door. He's not doing anything. He's giving us something that's not sustainable.
City Council is in the middle of creating their budget for next year.
We have to figure this out, and certainly it's got to start with closing the border and at least have a moratorium on letting people come in.
President Biden has already asked Congress to appropriate $1.4 billion to help cities and states accommodate new arrivals. As we mentioned, the mayors, they're asking for much more.
So Biden has already put aside some money for them. Bruh, just go ahead and say, listen, I love people just like you love people. I love migrants. I love citizens. It does not matter. But at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. All right. And them Chicagoans are getting the short end of the stick for something that they actually voted for. Should they feel the heat a little bit? Absolutely. They should. They most certainly should. They put themselves in this bind. And that's called real life. That's called manning up. That's called, sticking by your decision making. You made the decision. So now it's time for you to deal with the decisions that you made. Nobody else gets to walk away from their decision making. Why should they? That's just me.